Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following message that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admins, and the message reads like this. Hello, my brother. How are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a man who is married, and to the mother of my children, I do not even know where to start. All that I can say, even though I know that it might take a very long time for her to come across my confession. And if she ever comes across my confession, and if it happens that at that time I would have since died because of the rituals that I did, I just want her to know that this is more like an open letter to her, even though she does not know at this point that this is a letter that I am sending to her. I just want to thank you for the gift that you gave me, the gift of my children. When I look at my kids, my heart jumps with joy, but at the same time, it breaks so much for you. It breaks so much because I know that the future of my kids, it is quite bleak and dim. The future of my generation, my grandkids, I have already messed it up. Before they are even born, there is already a curse, an evil spirit that is waiting to mess up their lives because I just wanted to enjoy this life. At that time, I was just a young man when I performed these rituals. Unlike my wise friend, he chose something that was far much better than the thing that I chose. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this friend of mine. He was the one who introduced to his own traditional healer. This traditional healer of his was always a part of their family. In their family, they are not allowed to go and visit your regular doctors. Rather, they depend on herbs. So when we met in college, he used to go around with a lot of herbs, and I noticed that herbs do work. In reality, they do work, regardless if they are evil or good herbs, but they do work. He always had the herbs with him. Each and every morning, he would prepare the herbs that looked more like tea. It was sort of like a tea that he would prepare for us without sugar or anything. He said that this would clean our system so that we can chase away the evil spirits. But later on, the more that I wanted to use these herbs, the more that I chased the powers. I wanted the true source of their power. And the more that I pressurized him, he then said that it is fine. Let me take you to one who is a family doctor. When I arrived there, I saw that this was not a doctor, a regular doctor, a medical one, but it was a traditional one. And we were made to perform some rituals. It was quite a lot for me to take in. But even up until today, me and him, because of the things that happened on that fateful night, when we were made to sleep with each other throughout the night, this brought us even closer. But as for him, he does not have any children because he sacrificed his own seed. He was made to sleep with this other wooden doll, and he told me that as he was sleeping with that wooden doll, it felt as if it was real. Soon after he had finished sleeping with that wooden doll, he had to assist me because my rituals, they required that I do have kids, and these kids, after my own lifetime, after I have enjoyed this life, then my kids and the kids that they will have, they will suffer until maybe one that will be risen by God will break that entire generational curse. As long as my children will follow after my footsteps, as long as they will be living in sin, this generational curse will last forever. It needs someone's blood for it to be washed clean so that my entire generation can live a free life again. Hence, I said that my wife, all of these things, she does not know, because when she met me, if she knew that this was the heavy burden that I was carrying on my shoulders, I don't think that there is any normal woman who can actually stomach the thought of giving birth to a man and giving birth to kids that you know very well that your husband has already sacrificed them. And this is an ongoing thing. It has no ending at all as long as they live in sin. But generational curse will never leave my family. When we went to my friend's village, we were both asked what we wanted to achieve in life. Of course, we both answered that we wanted abundant riches. But in my own case, I went an extra step and I said, I want riches that are so plentiful that my wealth will never come to an end. The healer then asked me, what was I going to use with all the money that I was going to get soon after these rituals? Because my friend had said that all that he wanted was money so that he can enjoy a comfortable life. But I wanted to take care of the rest of my family members. The traditional healer said that since you want to take care of everyone in your family, then you have to sacrifice, and this sacrifice has to be an ongoing thing. You cannot sacrifice once, unlike my friend when he made love to that doll that was made out of wood. The seed that entered into the seed that he left in that wooden doll, that was all that it was needed for the rest of his life, but he cannot have a child. That was a once-off thing, but as for me, it is an ongoing thing because I chose my family. Yes, I wanted this money, this blood money, but I wanted to assist my family as well. So I then cursed my own seed. Any seed that comes out of me, any child that is born out of my seed is cursed from the day of inception. So my brother, going back in the past, I still remember that our problems started when my father passed away. My father, he was a good man. He was in the army. He had tried so much to provide a good life for me, my mother, and my little sister, whom I will call Ati. So after my father passed away, that was when my father's relatives, they turned their backs on us. Some of the greedy ones, they took our cows. I still remember Mama said that these cows, after they had taken the cows from her, Mama was told that since my father's relatives were still alive, these cows, they belonged to them. And one of my uncle, the one who had lasted after my mother, ever since my father was still alive, after his brother had passed away, that was when he came to my mother and he proposed love to my mother. And my mother said, it is such madness. I cannot do that. I cannot dishonor the memory of my husband. Then my uncle said, very well, then you are not going to get your cows back. You are only going to get your cows when your daughter has been married. At that time, when this thing happened, my little sister Ati, she was only 3 years old. She was busy playing with her handmade dolls. So when I looked at the situation that my mom was now in and facing, I had to make it in life, for I had promised my little sister that when big brother makes it in life, I will buy her proper clothes, I will buy her clothes, and I will buy her proper sanitary to wear. It pains me a lot whenever I look back in the past, because as for my mother, what she will do is that she will take some of my father's old clothes, then she will cut them up and she will use them as if it was a sanitary pad. This is what my mother used to do. We were so poor soon after my father passed away because they came and they collected everything from our household. They took even the pots. In our culture, they say that the pots belongs to the woman, but these pots, they were really beautiful. My father, he had bought some of them recently for my mother as a gift, and then my father's relatives, they targeted everything. They left us with nothing. They took all the livestock except for the chickens. That is all that we were left with. After completing my high school, well, I had to go to a technical college. When I arrived at that technical college at Morgenster, this thing, it was really difficult for me. The whole cultural thing had changed. The environment had changed. That was when I started dating this other young lady. She was really beautiful, but she was not of my class. And this friend of mine, the one who later made me to become a ritualist, he came from a family whereby we cannot say that they were wealthy, but they were able to live a comfortable life. So he kept on telling me that I should date this girl, even though this girl was destroying me, like financially. What I'll do is that whenever my mom will send me some money, then she will be the first one that I would hand over the money to. So life was really difficult. I wanted more in life. I didn't want to suffer, and I didn't want my mother to suffer. And with the economy, it was just not so great for college graduates. That was when my friend gave me that idea. The more that he fed me his herbs, the more that I got interested in communicating with the spiritual world, with the spiritual beings. That was when the guy took me to his village, and we performed that ritual that I mentioned earlier on. As for my friend, my brother, yes, he has stayed with several women, but all of these women that he has stayed with, he gives them nothing but bad luck. That is what I was told, that if you sleep with this wooden doll representing a woman, any woman, after you leave this compound that you are going to sleep with, you can only give her bad luck. I have a good heart, my brother. I then thought to myself, well, if I am going to enjoy my life by sleeping with other women and giving them bad luck, that is just pure evil. And I thought that what I was doing by sacrificing my own seed so that my future generations can suffer, so that I can enjoy, I thought that it was actually a good deed that I was doing. But now that I am all grown up, when I look at my wife, when I look at my beautiful kids, I feel so sorry for them. I feel so sorry for my boys, because I know that their seed, because of me, their seed that will come out of them will be nothing but a cursed seed. I feel so sorry for my future daughter-in-laws, for they have to carry this cursed seed of mine, all because of me, because of the pleasures of this world, because of wanting and chasing after material things. My brother, ever since I did these rituals, I have driven top-of-the-range cars, but I have come to realize that King Solomon was not a fool when he said that all is vanity. There was a time when I was still excited by driving a top-of-the-range car that would be on the market at that time, but I have came to realize that a car is a car. As long as you are able to move from point A to point B, it doesn't matter if you drive a car that's worth millions and millions of dollars, or if you just drive a car that costs you $1,000, because I have seen big men fall. I have seen big trees being cut to the ground when their time has arrived. I have seen men that did far scarier sacrifices, but they have since died, and their empires, their little empires that they had once built straight from the ground with the assistance of charms and rituals, those empires, they collapse. As for me, my brother, when I die, I am not going to leave any wealth behind. The traditional healer once laughed with me when I went back to renew these charms, because there is a time frame whereby I have to go and renew the charms. He laughed at me and he said that, so all of this that you are doing, all of this money that you have, do you know that when you die, the money will follow you? It is like, the thing that he was trying to tell me was like, when I die, the house, the cars, the money, it's more like they will be buried with me in my grave. As for my kids, I will leave nothing behind for them. Anything that I used, anything that I purchased using this ritual money, all of it will eventually die. The businesses that I have invested into, they will never live off those investments. They will just disappear into thin air. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent by our dear brother. Our dear brother was saying that if my wife knew that even this friend of mine, we regularly sleep with each other, not like I have feelings for other men, but we just regularly sleep with each other. Why we do that, we do not even know. Strange things do happen in this world.